Yesterday I spent a lot of time reading and watching videos about lighting. So I found some helpful tips. Maybe I can share it with you, including on how to light yourself and get a dark background like I got right now. Most of us want to get the most out of our gear that we can, and sometimes we think we have it set up to where it looks absolutely the best when it comes to our webcams, and then we go and see somebody else using the same exact piece of gear and it blows yours out of the water. Now, is it that yours is bad and theirs is better? No, it's not. There's a few things that we can change to make everything better for you, and the main thing that is going to make any webcam, whether it be a cheap webcam or even a DSLR camera, look better, and that's lighting. Lighting is the biggest thing that's going to make your camera look good. It doesn't matter what kind of camera it is. That's not the important part. Lighting is. So you're all excited. You got your new 1080p webcam. You get home, you hook it up, and then this is what you get. Here's your brand new 1080p camera. This is the Logitech C920, like I've said. And this isn't what you thought you would get when you plugged it in, is it? So let's fix this, and let's fix it fast. First thing we want to do is go into your OBS and locate your webcam. You want to double click on your webcam. This will open up the properties menu. Now, we're in the properties menu, and these are the things that you'll see here. This is your first page. First thing you're going to see is autofocus. Turn it off. Turn autofocus off. If not, your webcam is just going to be trying to constantly focus. It's not going to be good. Now we're going to look at advanced settings. Now look, there's a lot of auto stuff, and we have a tendency to just leave auto on. That makes it easier, right? Well, that's not right at all. It's actually going to make your picture look worse. So we're going to turn all this off now. Off. Let's see here. Right light auto off. Auto gain off. And white balance off. Now, also when you're doing this, you want to have your special lighting that you want to use set up already and shining on you, because you want to set the camera to the lighting that you have. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my lighting on now. As you can see, this made a difference, but it still isn't good. So we got to fix this. Here we go. All right. First thing, your exposure. This determines how much light is coming in and out of your camera. This is important. This is important. Gain. This is another kind of brightness mode. Here's the secret about gain, though. Gain is going to make your camera not act the way you want it to. You will lose frame rate with the gain turned all the way up as it is. Personally, I like to turn it down all the way, and as you can see, it's getting darker and darker. Don't worry, we're going to fix all that. Now, these are my settings that I use, that I prefer. I'm not saying that these are perfect for you. You're going to have to play around with this. So, I like to turn my exposure up just a little bit because it's so dark. So, we turn that up to about there. Let's see here, my brightness, we're going to turn that up as well. Okay. Contrast. Now, you see the blacks have gotten kind of bleh. So, let's make the blacks black again. Turn that contrast down just a tad. Just a tad. Okay, color intensity is your next one. I like to turn it up a little bit. There we go. And then your white balance. This is where, like, this white t-shirt is going to come in handy. You want your white to be white the way it is. Okay. Now you see how that puts the color back in me also. Let's see right here. We've improved it dramatically. It's not quite done yet, but we've improved it dramatically. In fact, let's see here if we can turn this contrast. I want to change that contrast a little bit. You don't want to be red. See, if you go too little contrast, you're going to blow it out. If you go too much, you're going to be too dark. So you got to find the sweet spot for your lighting and your camera. Okay, I think that I think we're about right there. So here's the important part. Have your lighting already set up and ready to go. You're going to have to play with it as you're playing with the settings to get exactly where you want your lights to be. But messing with the settings and messing at the lighting with your lighting at the same time go hand in hand. It's just how it is. Now, before we close this window out, it's important to click this button right here, the most important button on this whole thing. After you've done all this great stuff, you have to click save. If you don't click save, it's not going to save. So remember to click save. Now, for the lighting, you want to use diffusers if you want to achieve the effect that I'm using right now with the interview effect. You see I've used just black cloth to block the light there on that one. And then over here I have a foam pad blocking the light to make sure it doesn't go behind it. Doing this will ensure that the light is not hitting where you don't want it to. This will make sure that you are lit and your background stays dark. And if that's the effect you're going for, then that's what you need to do. Now, if you think this looks a little too boring and you don't like the bland black background, there's a few things you can do that'll make it really easy. I spent about $7 a piece on these two cheap floodlight cans that you just stick any bulb in. And I also bought a couple of colored LED light bulbs. You can spend anywhere from $6 to $20, $30, $40 on bulbs. I'm cheap, so I bought pretty much the cheapest ones I can find. Now, what that's going to do is add color to the background. Now, you'll have to play around with position and, you know, where it's good for you to get your color on the wall. It took me a long time to figure out exactly where I wanted them to be, and this is the effect that I got. I'm pretty happy with it so far. I really dig that it's just not a dark background. I stopped using a green screen because it was just too much of a pain in the butt for me to set it up and tear it down every time. When you get done streaming, I'm tired. I usually just want to go straight to bed. So I left it up, and then what ends up happening is I trip over it, or my lady trips over it, and she's not very happy about that. So I eliminated the green screen for that. It was for my convenience. So this is my alternative to it. You know, it could be very boring with just that black blob behind me, especially when your webcam's small down in the corner, and then there's a black border around. We'll get into webcam frames in another video. But this is just lighting. We want to make your camera look good. And like I said before, it doesn't matter if you have a 720p camera, a 1080p camera, a DSLR camera. Lighting is going to make your camera look better, and that's what we want. So we're going to look at Nexus Filters, and I only use 2 filters, and they're not even on right now. So you might not even see a difference. I do, and that's what I prefer. So we're going to look over here. The first one I like to use is the sharpen. Now, there you go. There's the sharpen. That's sharpen on. That's sharpen off. On, off. It's very subtle, very subtle. And the other one I like to use is color correction. And let's see what happens when I do this. It might just tear everything up. I don't know. Let's see. There we go. Now, there's the color correction on. Color correction off. On, off. And what I like about it is I darken up the floor a little bit, you know, and instead of the light that I'm not wanting to come through on the stream, you know, I take it away with the color correction, and, you know, the stuff that my diffusers on my lights aren't taking care of, then I can fix that in color correction. I don't look crazy or anything, so that's a good thing. And that's what we're going for, you know, that's what I'm going for. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to put words in your mouths. But this is exactly what has made me happy. It's, you know, I spent next to nothing, okay? I just so happen to have microphone stands laying around. I'm a musician, so I have a lot of extra stuff that I've just accumulated over the years. So I had a couple of extra mic stands. Would I use those to hold the LED lights that I bought from Amazon? And the LED lights, they were $25 for the pair. Now, they're non-dimmable, and that's kind of a problem. That's where the diffusers come in. And my diffuser that I use, you know, like I said, it's black cloth. Blocks out the light from going where I want it to go. I found a piece of foam for my other one to put behind the light to keep the light from going back into the room. Then other than that, it was the $7 a piece, so $14 in cans, and then maybe $20 in LED bulbs to color the walls, and that's called a wall wash, in case you want to be technical. So I combined the interview lighting with a wall wash, and I've got this that I like. This is how I like my settings now. I think this is what I'm going to stick to. We might change the color over time. We might add some other kind of lighting in the back, but as far as, you know, lighting myself and having the webcam look the way I want it, this has made me happy, and I hope that this kind of helps you out a little bit. And here's the thing too, this could help you out with the console streamers also. Some of you guys have your webcams on your consoles, and that's great. That's actually really awesome that you do that. Take your tip money that you make in your streams and buy some lights. You know, turn that overhead light off and get some LED lights that you can use to light yourself up. It'll make your camera look better no matter what you're using, like I've said. And you can even do your room just like I did. You know, you could do it just like this and still stream on a console. And if you turn your chat off, people might not even notice that you're streaming on a console unless you hit the blue screen, you know, where you're inviting somebody, or, you know, that kind of stuff. It's that effective. I hope this video was some kind of help. Maybe it shed a little light on your troubles with your webcam. That was terrible. Maybe it'll give you some ideas on what to do with yours. You know, if you're wanting to ditch the green screen, then, you know, this is a good opportunity to, you know, invest in a couple of little lights and maybe do something different. You ditch your chroma key, you open up resources on your computer. This is good. This lets the computer do more stuff with your stream, makes it better quality. So if there's any questions or anything like that, you can comment below. Join the Discord. I think there's a link in the description. There should be. If I can be any help, that's what I'm here for. You know, this is another episode of the Junkyard Tech. So if you made it all the way to the end of this video, this is where I'm going to do the typical thing that everybody hates: like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. You know what I mean? It's I guess you have to do that. I don't know. But I'm appreciative of everybody that's been here and hanging out on the channel. The live streams have been a lot of fun lately. We got new faces popping in all the time. And we will see you on the next stream.